Okay, everybody, a little behind the scenes footage. We're gonna have to move all these plants. We're gonna have to move all these plants up off the table so that you guys can see us. But here's the collection of plants that Casey's gonna be testing today. With his finger.
There's
He's
the
feeling
finger right there.
he's feeling very confident as usual. Per usual. We've got some philodendrons up here to choose from. We've got a Dieffenbachia. I'm gonna have him test that big Dieffenbachia in the back. He's gonna be up against this fiddle leaf fig, different begonias, calathea. We try to really spread it out. So
Yeah, the dirt's different, all of them, right?
I can't
Accurate.
wait.
It's
Okie
accurate,
dokie.
regardless of the plant.
All right, that's your behind the scenes footage. I'm gonna move all these plants off the table so you can see us, and then we'll just bring them up one at a time. What's up, plant nerds? It's Rachel and Casey with Heart-Shaped Leaves, and today is a much awaited, much anticipated day and filming, and today is Casey versus the water meter, or how to properly use a water meter for your indoor house plants. So Casey's been talking endless amounts of trash, and I mean endless amounts of trash. And he has suggested from the beginning that I didn't need one of these and that I should be able to tell from just using my finger the level of moisture that's in my houseplants.
Technically what I said was, if I can do it so accurately, surely I can teach you how to do it as accurately with just your finger.
Right. Oh man, I'm just not in the mood. I'm already pissy. I'm just like, ooh.
Pissy?
I don't know, just naturally kind of pissy right now.
Well,
I don't
you
know.
better get unpissy,
I'm trying.
girl.
I'm really trying. Okay, I'm working on it. Okay. So we are going to test Casey's skills with all kinds of different stuff. We're gonna do different types of plants. We're gonna do different types of pots. We're gonna do different sizes of pots. And I think I tried to pick enough plants to where we would have a good range of completely wet to completely bone dry, and a couple of repeats, so that we're gonna throw them off a little bit.
So just going into this, I would like to say up front, my confidence, I'm confident that I'm gonna have about an 80% accuracy level. That doesn't mean I'm gonna guess it as a 7 when it's an 8. I mean, it's wet, it's dry, it's in the middle. I'm gonna be within that range 80% of the time.
I mean, do you really? I mean, do you are you just selling it hard, or do you genuinely think that you're gonna be at 80% accuracy?
Of course I genuinely think that.
From one best friend to another, you really think 80%? 80%?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Please.
Please.
Please. Are we having a serious conversation here?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't either.
But for different reasons.
Well, you know, I think you guys are pretty familiar with these cuttings. If you've been subscribed to my channel, these are a part of our Facebook fail video.
Maybe prepping myself.
They were also in the Facebook fail update video. So we're gonna have Casey start with these.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So this first one.
Do you feel a difference in the weight between
It does
those
feel
two?
lighter
That
than
one
this
does
one.
feel lighter.
I would expect them to be about the same weight because they're about the same size.
Right.
So I think this one's going to be wetter.
Ooh, okay. All right.
So this one is going to be on the lighter side.
Okay, and you feel free to use your finger, but now careful, because when you're feeling for the moisture, you don't want to damage roots with your finger. You don't want to snap.
Oh, so
a bunch
now
of
you're going to
babies.
put restrictions on me.
I'm just saying, don't stick your big giant finger completely down where my root system is. You have to be able to kind of surface feel to a certain extent. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, this one doesn't feel very wet.
So it doesn't feel very wet.
No,
So,
and the fact that it's lighter.
so it's going to be a 2-part quiz.
So I'm going to say it's on the low end of wet.
Low end of wet.
So
here's the second part of the quiz. Would you water this? Would you water this?
Yes, I would put a little water in there.
You would water this.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
I'm going to say, what does our water meter use?
What are you talking about?
What scale does it use?
Oh, 1 to 10. One being absolute most dry, and 10 being the most wet.
I'm going to say it's a 4.
You're going to guess the number now. You're going to go, okay.
I'm going to guess it's a 4.
It's a 4, which is the lowest.
Hang on a second. Oh, go ahead. I've been told I interrupt a lot, so I'm trying not to.
It's
really
okay.
hard.
It's the lowest portion of moist.
Okay.
Okay, so make sure you know what's what.
Okay. So,
Ooh, goodness. Which one do you think it is?
I think it's on the dry side, so I'm going to guess it a 3. But on a scale of 1 to 10, if I guess it with my finger, if I'm off plus or minus 1, I think that should count as accurate because that's really close. It's not like I'm going to pick it as a 3 and it's a 9. That's not close. So if I pick a 3 and it's a 2 or a 4, that should count. I'm just laying the score.
I agree, and I will give you that.
Okay.
I'll totally give you that.
Oh crap! She already knows what this one is. I'm gonna stick.
No, I don't remember. It's actually kind of a surprise to me.
I'm going to stick with my original 4 based on that. So the low end of moist, the high end of dry.
All right, we have it at
Boom!
A5. Now, the second part is this: you have to take an average. You can't just test one spot in your pot and expect for it to give you the average. So we're going to go diagonally right across here to the other end of our pot, and we're going to retest it. 5.5, which we're going to give that to him because, I mean, I'd say that's pretty good. You failed the second part of your test because you said you would water this plant, and this plant does not need to be watered.
Did I get it right?
No. Keep that in mind with your next assessment.
Now, I should have got
This
the rules.
was accurate, but whether or not to water the plant was not. So you failed.
Well, I'm only trying to be accurate on Casey versus the moisture meter. I'm not trying to be accurate on should
No,
Casey
no.
water the plant.
Yes, it's good. Should Casey
See,
water the plant?
Here's a good
Why
life. It's a life lesson right here. Always determine the rules before you enter the contest.
That's
Otherwise,
what we did.
no. You never asked me if I would water
I said this is a 2-part question. Would you water it?
Once we were live,
Why would I use a water meter? Am I just
If I
walking
was
around thinking, you know what? I wonder how moist all these plants are. No, I'm trying to figure out would I water it.
Okay, we're still counting that as a win for Casey because I did get the number right.
Okay, half a point. You can have half of a point because you didn't get all of it
I
right.
disagree.
All right, we gotta quit this whole damn thing then because there's just no point in it. Oh,
Okay.
so many things to be drawn
This
from
one,
the
this
previous test.
this one is definitely not ready to be watered.
Not ready to be
Not ready to be watered. I don't even have to put my finger in it, although I will.
Okay. Oh, he's taking 2 different testings. He's doing it from one end to the other.
Well, I
He's
figured
learning.
somehow that might disqualify me if I don't.
Whatever.
I'm going to guess that one is about 6.
You want to look at it? Okay. You
I'm
think
going to
that's
guess
about
that one's a
6?
6.
That's a 6.
No, take it back. Take it back. That's a 7.
Can you guys see what reading that is? Also,
Can't see
would
it.
you would say you would not water this
No.
plant, right?
Now that
I don't
I
know
know,
if they can see it or not, but do you see what the reading is?
it's an 8.
It's actually
Oh,
a 9.
oh no.
Babe.
Now look at that. Now tell me that that's a 9.
It's at least an 8.5, and
Okay.
you were saying that it was a 7, so you lose that one.
No,
because
you
it's
got it.
not a point.
Your own
ahead.
rule. Your old rule said you have to do it in more than one location.
Okay, it's gonna be a rough day, isn't it, dear?
Okay, that one is a 9.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna say out of the average of the 2, it's probably a 9. But you made the right
In
decision.
what world does an 8 and a 9 average out to a 9? That averages
when you
out
don't wanna kill your plants with water.
Okay.
Percent accuracy is now at 50.
The editor's the only one that has to deal
It's
with
now
that.
at 50. So I mean, ooh, hey, that moss pole really affects that weight, doesn't it?
Yeah, dang it.
Yeah, that melanochrysum. Yeah. This is my Philodendron melanochrysum. This is when the stakes get a little bit higher. When you're walking around and you're going to water or not to water. You know what I mean? That is the question, isn't it? And when you have these more, whoa, you're going, whoa, way deep. Hey, brother, you gotta slow down there.
Slow down, brother.
For reals.
Okay.
This is when things get real. If you're walking around with your finger, you may not be very accurate and you may cause your roots to rot. So
You're walking around with your finger up your pot. Okay.
I like that one. That one was
Did
pretty
you like
good.
that one? I'm gonna guess a 7 again.
7. Okay.
Whoa!
Nope, not today. I've got my calm pants on because you're going down so hard.
That's proof that when she's unboxing something new and exciting, she gets plumb beside herself. When she's out of that environment, I can't hardly spook her.
Okay, I'll show you guys the first reading that we're getting. Can you see? Okay, can you see what's the first reading?
Oh, it's a 4.
It's a 4. Oh,
Come on, 12. Oh, it don't go to 12. Dang it.
Go to 12. Hang on, I'm hitting the moss ball. Real easy, real gentle.
That's a 5.
It's a 5. So what did you say? Did you say a 6?
I said a 7.
You said a 7. It's right about to drop into that detrimentally dry area. I think the moss poles also create an extra level of aeration for these smaller pots, which creates the drying at a more quicker rate.
Plus the terracotta, you're a little bit less worried about watering it a little too soon, right?
Another thing to keep in mind, the color of your soil can be so deceptive. Sometimes it'll look rich and dark like it has just been watered, and it's completely bone dry. Right, and like I said,
it's deceptive because when it's cold translates to wet sometimes, and that's not always the case.
That was my main problem when I first started getting deeper into houseplants, was I would perceive cold as moist, and it's not the same thing, and my finger's not very sensitive. All right, up next. Oh, this is a begonia.
Come back.
Okay. I just recently propagated this begonia.
You smell that?
I don't smell that come back.
I smell it come back.
I don't smell that come back. No, I don't
you just
smell
stepped
that.
all over my joke. I tell you what.
All right. First we're gonna say what number do you think it is, and then we're gonna say, are you gonna water this plant?
This one's definitely wet. I'm going to say that's a 7 as well.
That's a 7.
And I would not water it. That's wet. That's wet as I'll get out.
It's wet, and he wouldn't water it.
Nor should you when it's wet like that.
Okay.
This will put me back to 50%. We don't even have to. Oh!
I want you to see how dramatic of a difference between what you think
I keep
and
using
what
the
is.
same finger. I need to start changing fingers.
Change your finger out. Do whatever you got to do. This is real talk. Sometimes the soil feels moist and it isn't.
Maybe we should have you use your finger as well.
I'm getting really good at it, so I wouldn't do that.
I'm grasping for straws here. I gotta win something.
This other reading also is in the extremely dry category. So not only is it dry, it desperately needs water. That's a fail.
1
Sorry.
out of 4. That's 25%.
Do it. So up next,
Yes, he does know.
let's try to use some of the things that we've learned so far.
I've learned that you change the rules in mid-game.
What?
Hey,
Your score's the same, even
I
if
am
we
a
took
sore
half
loser.
of it.
Prepare yourself.
No kidding. Okay, this is my Begonia Gryphon. Super proud of this begonia. Definitely one of my favorites. I love the foliage on this plant, and I mean I love it. I make Casey look at it all the time.
Yeah.
But that's not the question. The question today is it dry and does it need water? It can be deceptive because the weight of your plant itself can be quite heavy, and it can simulate moisture.
So I told myself up front
Okay.
I was going to pick them dry. That I should pick dry.
That you should
and I
pick
couldn't
dry.
help but get caught up in the coldness of the,
the coolness
of the soil and
right.
thinking, well, maybe this is the wet one.
Right.
Statistically, I think she got about half and half. And so far,
my goodness.
I want to say this one's dry, and I'm going to pick a 3.
Okay, you're gonna say that it's
Caught
a
up.
3?
Yep.
And that you would water this plant.
I would probably give it one more day because it hadn't flopped on us yet. But I'd water it today or tomorrow.
You'd water it today. So can we just stick with would you water it?
Okay. I'm trying to be ambiguous
Okay, so
here.
it's a dry.
It's
a
dry,
3,
and I would water it.
And you would
yes.
water it. You guys see what the reading is?
Probably right what I said. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness, that is all the way at an 8. That's a 9. So not only
9 is a factor of 3.
so true. We just learned that with the kiddos.
3 is 3 is the square root of 9. So that's
Are
gotta
you
count.
ready to admit that it is hard to tell? Or you want to, because we got a lot more plants to go.
I will admit, once statistically I can't get to my number.
That was a plastic pot. I've got terracottas in there, and I switched it up, big, small, plastic terracotta. We got all the stuff in there. So let's try
I really am
another
better
one.
at picking the
Ooh,
philodendrons.
I love it when he pulls up a philodendron. Okay.
Yeah. This is a pseudovaricosum crote.
So true. So true. So go ahead and give it a shot. Tell me how dry, how moist you think it is, and would you water this? And this is not a super cheap plant, so it's important to not kill it. So what do you think? Now you're being ridiculous.
I'm gonna guess it's a 4, and I would not water it. That's my final answer.
It's a 4.
At this point, I don't know because they all feel the same to my finger.
It's a 4. So it all feels the same to your finger?
Yes.
That's weird, because when I said that, you said something like, well, maybe you should do it better.
Oh, I was gonna change fingers. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, now that feels wet right there. I'm gonna raise it. I'm gonna raise it up to a 6.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm gonna
Okay.
raise it to a 6.
He got this one right. I can't know if you can see that, but he got that one right on the money. 6.
It's called nailing it.
But this one, he nailed it on both sides. That's a 6 on both sides, and you would not water it. You got a full plant point. You know your philodendrons better, don't you?
Yes.
He doesn't water anything.
All you talk about every day, all the time. I'm on a roll.
You're doing okay, I guess. Okay.
I want that one.
Yeah, you can't have that one. That one needs watered, and it didn't take a scientist to figure that out. It's about to fall over. It's so dry. Please. It's a...
Well, evidently. Evidently, I'm dry too because I'm about to fall over.
You need to get up next time. I'm not going to let your ass fall.
I'm lazy.
All right, here.
All right.
All right. Okay, we'll put it down here. Here is my big O calathea. I can't remember. Calathea medallion is this. This is my calathea medallion. And I chose it because it's a different kind of plant. It has a different kind of pot. It's a plastic pot. So, and it's also kind of a heavier plant. Makes it kind of difficult to know. All right, he thinks he knows. We won't cover your face with it though. So
Okay.
keep it kind of in the air.
Can I hold it? Ooh, feels pretty moist.
You feel one, you felt them all, you know what I'm saying?
I used the wrong finger.
Oh,
That one feels pretty wet.
feels pretty wet.
I'm gonna go with a 6.
A 6.
And I would not water that one.
And you would not water.
Physical
The
chance.
first reading is 5.
Ooh,
I don't know if you can see it or not, but that is within
that barely counts.
that's within the parameters.
The next one needs to be slightly higher. If it's slightly
Right.
lower, the average pulls me down.
That's right. And it looks like you're right on the money. So we
Bam!
can prove it to everybody, right on the money. So he got the calathea correct. Now, some of these plants were watered yesterday, so I picked a couple of easy ones for my baby so that it wouldn't look too terrible bad on the internet.
Yeah, I'm up to 50%. I'm well on my way
I
to my
don't know about
80%.
that. You want to do the math,
Which
so
50%
whatever.
also means that I probably would have killed half the plants you've just seen here.
Yeah, well,
So-
you'd be on your way to killing them.
Right.
Because if one wrong guess is not a big deal, but 5 is. And if you're always relying on your finger, you could really kill some plants pretty quickly. Oh, look at how beautiful. This is my Philodendron Gloriosum, who is
In excelsis
popping out
Deo.
in excelsis Deo. If y'all subscribe, then you'll know that. It's got this gargantuan new leaf coming in. It's so beautiful. The problems that I would make with this plant personally when watering it is that the plant itself and the terracotta, once it gets to this size, it's just heavy. The whole thing feels heavy no matter what. So, and with a super aerated soil that has a ton of perlite in it, it's really hard to tell, especially on the first ½ inch or so, whether or not the plant's truly wet or dry. So go ahead. How wet is it? Would you water it? And this is important. Don't screw it up because this leaf needs you. If you overwater it, that thing's going to turn to mush.
Feels pretty wet.
If you underwater it, that thing is going to turn crispy. It's very important.
That feels very wet. I'm gonna go with an 8.
You're gonna go with an 8?
I'm gonna go with an 8.
And you're not gonna water it.
I'm not gonna water that one.
You're getting pretty confident, aren't
Yeah.
you? Can you guys see what this reading is? Wow. That is a 3. So let's
Closer
go
to a
ahead. That's actually a 2. So we'll measure the other side.
I'm on 18.
And it
18, no whammies.
it did go a little bit higher. It's actually on a 4 on the other side of this plant, but here's the thing. Your In Excelsis Deo needs water, bro. And it needs it bad because it's pushing a new leaf. Water meters are important. But first, we want to test something big. So, what do you think about this guy?
I think that is a fiddly fig.
That is a fiddly fig.
That's really dry.
You think that's super dry?
Yeah, that's dry. Poor thing. It needs water. I'm gonna call it a 2.
Okay, you're calling it a 2, and you're gonna give this thing a good thorough watering, right?
Thorough.
Thorough watering.
I'm gonna soak it.
He's gonna soak this bad boy, which is probably not the best idea.
Oh man, I can't see that.
Can you not see that? It's actually more than a 7 if I push it even further down. So, and we'll take a reading. So, here's why this is important. Let Mama Rachel get the fiddly fig out of the way that's hurting my baby.
I could have swore that was dry as a bone.
Here's the important thing about the big giant houseplants. You can't tell the first 3/4 of an inch of surface just isn't enough soil to tell whether or not your root ball is moist, especially if you have a big fat nursery pot container. And I made that mistake more than once when I first started in overwatering, especially my bigger plants. So
Because your finger can only go down so far.
Yeah, the first 2-3 inches is not enough.
I probably inserted my finger that far down.
He went deep on that fiddly fig because he thought I
man,
wasn't paying attention, but I saw it.
I don't know what I think about the air roots on that. They
This
look really
thing has
weird.
been growing since y'all saw it, since our 100 subscribers
Let's show them the air root here.
wish list plant. Be careful. Be careful.
Look at that sucker.
Our 100 subscriber
Crazy.
wish list plant. So if I don't know if y'all remember that. I'm sure we'll put a link to that video. But it has grown tremendously. I think this leaf right here was the leaf that it had on it. It's gotten this one and this one. It's actually pushing a new one so far. How wet do you think it is? And would you water it?
Well, it looks wet because it's really dark. So, but as they say in the movies, looks can be deceiving.
And take it easy. Be nice to her.
I'm gonna go with 7.
7. Okay. And he was correct
Mundo.
by about a point. It's actually an 8, and I just watered this elbow literally right in front of him in the bedroom, and he had no idea what was happening. So
I should be honest here. I saw her water this, so I gave a high number. So
Did you really watch me water it? Oh, you cheated, but you were honest about it. Oh, now you're extra adorable. Now you're gonna get away with anything.
I really wanted to hit my number,
You
but
really
I'm not.
thought, oh, that sucks. But anyways, that just goes to show that you guys, that with this super porous soil mix that I create for my aeroids, I can just water it and it's already at an 8 and not fully at a 10. There's 0 moisture retention because of the terracotta and because of the perlite. I always use a moisture meter. I never rely on my finger ever. I actually bought several backup ones because I'd carry them around the house, set them down and leave them, you know, so I gotta have to have it. So, what did we learn today?
It feels really bad to have your butt kicked by a little device like this.
And what do you think your accuracy level was?
Well, I got to 50%, and I think I missed the next 2.
But you were honest
3 out of
about
6,
the last
I'll be
one,
3 out
so
of
we won't
8.
count that one.
3 out of 8.
It's not too bad. You wouldn't kill all your houseplants, but you'd definitely have some that were struggling.
38%.
Right.
It's half of what I wanted to be, or a little under half. Underperformed. I definitely underperformed.
So, I mean...
But I did eat a big lunch.
You did eat a big lunch. The thing is, it's kind of sad, but I kind of knew this was going to happen.
It was a setup.
The reason why I was so confident was because I had the exact same problem and I thought that I knew and that I didn't need a moisture meter, and I do. I need a moisture meter, and I think most people do. So I'm glad you got to learn yet another valuable lesson. Not only do we throw spaghetti on the wall to see if it's done, but
Here we go.
moisture meters can be your friend. That's all for today. Thank you guys so much for coming by and watching Casey versus the moisture meter, or how to use your moisture meter properly. And we will see you next time. Catch you on the flip side. Peace out. Later, taters. Bye. If anybody's interested in this moisture meter in particular, it's called Dr. Meter. I have it linked in our description below, and they're pretty affordable, so.
You too could own a Dr. Meter water moisture meter for $9.95. That sucked.
See, it's hard, isn't it?
Only you can prevent overwatering your plants. This little device ruined my life and crushed my confidence.
Hey, listen to what I'm about to say. Listen to what I'm about to say. We challenge you, plant pots and whatnots. I know that you're a couple YouTube channel, just like we're a couple YouTube channel, and we know that your husband likes to talk a lot as well. So we challenge you. Let's see how he can do against a moisture meter at your house.
We threw down the water meter. Boom! Drop the mic.